Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're looking at kind of like G.I. Joe, but it's Action Force. This is from Valaverse. So looking at the figure here, we actually have a Republic Guard. In the wake of the collapse of the Union, state governors and military leaders faced a dilemma. There were federal military installations and personnel present within the borders and cut off from any formal chain of command. State leadership acted swiftly, converting their respective military units into a new Republic Territory Guard, which would be responsible for security operations with the borders of each republic. These men and women would conduct security patrols in border zones both by air, land, and sea. Though forbidden from operating outside the Republic's borders, they would conduct combined operations with neighboring republics if needed, faced with a new threat in a new era. The Territory Guard are all that stands between the way of freedom and demise. So, looking at the story at the Valaverse, it looks like the United States federal government has kind of collapsed and it's all on the states, however that would look or whatever else. Now I picked these up because initially I was looking for like Cobra Troopers and trying to get like the Valkyries. I could not find them anywhere. I think the window that they were actually on, like Amazon or something like that, I missed it. I don't have any stores locally that had any of them or whatever else. So here I am. These weren't overly expensive. I think that these were like $23 each on Amazon. So I picked up two. These are the kind of desert warfare uniforms or whatever. So whether I wanted to use them for Joe or Cobra or just a generic either way, I figured, hey, why not? We'll take a chance and we'll see what the figures look like. I'm going to consider this as part of my G.I. Joe whatever, but however you want to look at it, or if you want to collect your own Valaverse, to me this is a G.I. Joe. Whether you want to call it a Joe or not a Joe or whatever, it's still pretty much a Joe. Looking at how it's all made and all that, see how the difference between the way Valaverse is doing their figures compared to Hasbro. We'll just kind of go over things. So we do have our ankle design. It seems like it's fairly on par. Let's see, and it does twist here just like what G.I. Joe does. On top of the leg, or on top of the boot here, on our calf, we do have a twist here with the boot, and we do have the double knee, so we can, and it's stiff, but we've had a lot of Joes that were very stiff too, and I'm not going to say that they weren't, and as brand new figures, you kind of expect that to be kind of part of the status quo. So we can kind of bend back here, stretch that calf out and get everything all going. So there we are, and then we do have a pivot joint here for on top of the leg here in the thigh, so we can do that. And of course then we have right above the belt line, and get the gun out of the way, right above the belt line we have what looks like a torso twist, and then we have underneath the bust here, there seems to be a back and forth hit there as well. So she can kind of do a little bit of a sit up a little bit more than some of the other figures that we've had, but not as much as some of the others. So either way, the arms look a little thicker than what we're usually having for the females. They're thinner than the guys, most of the guys, but they seem like, especially down here, it seems a little thicker. But there again, it's got the clothing here, so it does make some sense. And it's the double elbow, and then we do have the wrist here. Doesn't seem like it's a lot of the extra movement. Now you're supposed to be able to take the wrist off, or the hand off, and it does have a little bit of a joint here in there. I was having a dickens of a time, and I break enough stuff as it is. I think I had it about halfway off after really kind of tugging on it. I was like, you know what, forget it. Instead of breaking it, I'll just leave it be. So, and then we get up to the head, And we do have the neck here. Really, it seems we have a top part of the neck, so we can kind of back or forward. So you can see that kind of going back or forward. So however you want to do it in there. And of course we do have some movement, so we can kind of off to the side, the other side, or just whatever. So yeah, you know, kind of a standard figure. Nothing overly spectacular on this. And we're supposed to be able to swap the head out, so if you want the light skin or if you want the chocolate skin, boy, they have dark chocolate on this one. The eyes look nice, and the face is all covered, so there's not much else there. So, I mean, this would work as just a straight old generic whatever you want. And I'm willing to bet I could probably throw a helmet on here too. So that would make it even more, you know, kind of customized in that regard. So and I believe they have male characters too. So if you want to just get some generics, just the whatever, you probably could. And you know, they have a nice Action Force stand, and it's got 4 pegs here. So let's stick the boot there. I could probably have another one here, or however. Seems like there's a little bit of a wide stance going all the way over here like this. But you know, you can do it however. And then the gun itself, so we'll take a look at the gun. Magazine doesn't come out. This looks very much like something we would see for like the old Cobra Troopers. So it does look like they're trying to copy some of the old G.I. Joe-ish looks in that regard. And I think that's what they were trying to go for. Something generic looking, but something kind of G.I. Joe-ish. And it looks like this is just like a little finger grab right here, in a way. Although, you know, I grew up with the old standard regular M16 or the M16 with the 203 grenade launcher, and we never had the handles underneath or anything else. So, you know, you just had to kind of hang on to it, and there you were. And we did pretty good way back then. But, you know, that is many eons ago. And I am not the skinny kid that I once was way back when. All right. But for a basic figure, this works pretty darn well. And now the other thing is, because I got one in here yet, you know, compared to the Joes, when we get them out, they went a whole different direction. You know, because we'd always have to get everything out of the plastic and all that stuff, and there's everything. So it comes in a bag. And we're going to change the faceplate out. So I'll have one tan and one chocolate. If I got 2 of them, we'll make a little distinction between the 2. And it even looks like a little spot here for a file card. So if you have the file card, or if you want to put it back there with a file card behind it, you could do that. So, all right. Well, we're going to see exactly how easy or difficult this is to change that out, and we are going to go from there. So I will change out, or pour out the extra hands here. We'll get the other head out. Thankfully, the head didn't go flying across the basement here. Okay. Alright, the head popped off, not too bad. Trying to pop the new one on as R2's trying to talk to me. Oh, come on. See, and this is usually where I have problems, trying to pop a head on here. Alright, I think I got her. Alright, and there we are. Seems like it's on there pretty good, so I think we did her. Now, seeing that we do have this, and we're trying to change things up a little bit, I was thinking about changing the handout earlier. And this is what I was saying about it's just not the easiest. That is it definitely in there really good. Now I wanted this hand on there to kind of hold the gun. It snaps in there good. But trying to get it out just was not the easiest. And then we're going to bend the elbow. So I wanted the gun in this hand. And I wanted to have her kind of cup underneath the gun with the other hand, like so. That's what I was trying to go for with the other one, and I was just kind of getting nervous, like, God, I feel like I'm really just reefing on the figure, and I think I'm going to break it, and boy, she is a stiff figure. There we go. There we are. Stiff joints. I think if I hit not the bottom elbow but the top elbow. See, the problem with having a stiff figure when you're first trying to do this, because I got the bottom elbow here and I'm trying to do the top elbow here. So oh, come on. There we go. Here. Here. Nope. And then I got everything all over the place here. Here. Alright. Now I think we got her. Okay. Alright. And then I think that looks pretty good. Now the nice thing is, for all my extra parts, I can put it back into the bag so I don't lose these. And that's pretty slick. But all in all, there we are. Two different figures. You know, we have the lighter skin, we have the chocolate skin. So, you know, it's they look like they have different personalities going on here. Especially with how they're just kind of, you know, the one's kind of more laid back, the other one's almost a little bit more in the ready, and there we are. So, yeah, looks good. I like the figures. They're interesting. No, they're not Hasbro, but as far as working for G.I. Joe or whatever else, I think this very easily could. I don't see too much of an issue with it. I mean, everybody's going to have their own take on it. You know, Hasbro, non-Hasbro, whatever. Kind of like Lego, non-Lego stuff. And my channel's always been built on, look, if you can find something that works, that's cheaper, and it works just as well. Not everybody's got all the money in the world to do this. So, you know, sometimes we're all just kind of hanging in there with a shoestring budget and everything else. So, there we are. As always, thanks for stopping by. It's always appreciated. Always fun having you around. Hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next video.